Come on in from the heat. It is extreme heat out here in California and here at our home lately, and it is sweeping the nation. And with some very, very important information about heat strokes in our pets, we welcome Chief Veterinary Officer of the Lucy Pet Foundation, Dr. Karen Halligan. Welcome back, Doc. I want to say what's up, Doc, but that seems a little bit over the top.
Okay.
Heat stroke is a very serious subject matter for animals. How do we identify that?
Well, I want to introduce, this is Ricky and Tyler from the Lucy Pet Foundation. They came to help me talk about some of the tips. But, you know, heat stroke is preventable. I mean, and also, do you think these guys have sweat glands?
No, they don't.
They don't. So how do they lose heat is by panting through their nose and their pads. And I brought Tyler, he's what we call a brachycephalic. So he's a pushed-in face, like Shih Tzu, Bulldogs. And he has a harder time panting. Like you have a golden retriever.
Yes.
And your dog can pant, and he loses heat that way. These dogs have a hard time. Pushed-in nose cats like Persians also have a harder time and are more susceptible.
But can I ask you something? When the dogs are panting like this, and when Fred pants and my dogs used to pant, doesn't mean that they're overheated, does it?
Correct.
Okay. Because I used to get very confused and say, is my dog too hot?
Yes. No, they're sweating like we would be sweating. They're panting. But when does it get excessive? Temperatures over 104. Right now, his is probably about 100. His is 101.
Air conditioning.
So, yes, we are in there. But once it's over 104, that's dangerous.
For the animal.
Yes. And then they'll start to, their tongue will get brick red. And they'll really, like that, as hard as they can. Then they'll act kind of disoriented, vomit, bloody diarrhea. They'll pass out and then they can die.
Small dog and big dog affected differently?
No, they are affected the same, but older dogs, dogs that are overweight, younger animals are more susceptible.
How can we tell if the asphalt, like you showed us, or our cars, or anywhere is just too hot for the dogs?
What
is too hot?
What is too hot? Well, first, an easy test is put your hand on the pavement. If you can rest it there comfortably for a couple seconds, you're fine. Or you can whip out this handy laser. This is a laser thermometer, and it actually, you just shoot it, press, boom, 77 degrees on the floor.
Right.
These
we did it earlier today. It was 130.
And 120 to 150 is the danger zone for the pavement that your pets are going to burn their pads. And I've seen in my 30-year career so many animals. All 4 pads are just burned off. Second-degree burn.
It's worth noting, I think, with those, because they are laser accurate.
Look, there it is. You got, and that's mild. That was.
No, back to what I was saying. Those lasers are laser pinpoint accuracy. So make sure you're pointing it at the actual asphalt, not missing and hitting the ground.
That's true.
And in your car, the same thing? It'll read it in your car?
Yeah, the cars are just, they're like saunas. Sit in a car for a few minutes, you guys. I encourage everybody, because in a few minutes, you feel like you're being suffocated.
Will they tell you, will the dogs react in a certain way to tell you that it's like too hot?
Yes, when they're walking on the pavement, they'll be like this. And
you
got to look at that.
Okay, so I watch Fred, and I watch him move throughout the house. It's hardwood floor, but he'll go from maybe laying in the rug, and and then he's on the hardwood floor, or if I have the windows open, there's a breeze.
Cool.
That's, I assume that he's trying to stay cool.
He is. He's looking for a soft place. So what you should do, I mean, a cold place, buy him a thermo bed. This is a thermo bed, yes, and what it does is it has those little beads in it, and you don't even have to put that in the refrigerator. It's motion activated, so if somebody lays on that, it gets cold. And these are really nice. They really work. They also have pads that cool on the floor as well.
So they have big ones, I hope, because Fred would fit.
Oh, he wouldn't fit in that?
He wouldn't fit on that one, no.
He's a monster.
Do you have one for Mark?
Yeah.
He also enjoys that.
So look, I like Fred needs his exercise, and he's losing weight. I'm happy to say he's losing his weight.
Oh, good.
But if it's hot and I'm taking him outside, and the pavement's hot, and we live in LA, there's not a lot of places.
How are you going to avoid them burning there?
And you know what? You can buy booties for all sizes, itty bitty to big. So what you want to do is take him to a store, pet store, because you want to make sure they fit him. And so can he go down? No, we'll keep them up here. So what you do is really easy to put these on. You basically just put it over the.
Kim has
Now,
a full-time job.
She said. And
This is the first time he's ever worn the booties, you guys. Took him to the store. Oh, Tyler. And we got you the color that you like. He wanted blue. Blue is his color.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You know what Debbie wears is the same thing.
I feel the same. I wear
that your
those to
color?
work. Well, I wear the little booties from the trailer to the house all the time.
And then you just put that on like that. You got to make sure it's snug.
Oh, I know.
But that's going to protect them from that asphalt because
Yeah.
at that temperature, it doesn't take long. And when they're
Yes, yes.
Can I ask you something else about this, by the way? I have been hiking before where I saw dogs that should not be out, and the dog was overheated and was clearly getting heat exhaustion.
Running.
I was lucky enough to have one of those things with me because I had a dog that the traveling water bowl.
Portable.
I poured the water on top of the dog because he wouldn't drink it. Is that the right thing to do?
Yes, that's even better than trying to get them to drink because at that point they're disoriented and they're not going to drink. You want to get water on them as fast as possible. If you have towels, you're going to throw them in the back seat of the car, wet the towels, put the towels on them. The towels will get hot in a second because they're absorbing all that heat. So yes, hose them down if you can, pour water on them.
Well, Fred is one of these dogs that will, because I got him a big water dish because
He's big.
Well, he's big, but
Yeah.
during the
Yes.
summer, and then he knocks it and it spills
right.
all over.
Yeah. Do you have a plunger at home?
Well, I don't want to say that I have toilet problems, but yes, I do have a plunger at home. Okay.
Great. Well,
No need
what
to
you're
embarrass
asking
him,
me
Doc.
here
No,
exactly.
no need to embarrass
So
him.
this
We
is
got off
easy
target here.
because do you have a bunk pan? You look like you bake. So you just you put a plunger, and then you press that down, and you put the bunk pan just like that,
Such a
so
good
that
idea.
they can't knock it over.
Isn't that
And then
genius?
out in the yard,
That
just
is
unscrew
brilliant.
this.
This is genius.
Right, look at Ricky. What's that, Ricky? And then you put it in there, and then just stake it in the ground, and then they won't knock
That
it
is
over.
How brilliant is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, because
That's
he
good.
will get in there and he starts
Yeah,
shaking and then
they
he'll
knock it.
he'll
Or
tip it
if you have more than one dog and they're running around the house, they'll knock it over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, speaking
look-
of water, are there
look at
signs
Yes.
of dehydration?
Yes.
Because heat stroke is different than dehydration.
Correct.
What are we looking for?
Dehydration is going to lead to heat stroke. That's an animal who doesn't have enough water to help cool themselves off in the
that's
body
coming first.
already. Yes.
our first.
So let's say your dog's a little dehydrated and you go for a little hike. You're setting yourself up for a pet to get heat stroke. So easy to tell. Just lift up his lip, and you can even check it on yourself. See? Check your own lip. It's moist, right? You're not
Yeah.
dehydrated,
Oh, I
are
think
you?
he's dehydrated.
And you see how moist his is? Ricky's kind of moist. When they're dehydrated, it'll be dry and tacky, and their lips will even get stuck.
Get caught up like that?
Yes, and so that's a sign your pet needs fluid.
What about their coat? Will
really-
will
really
can
tight.
you-
Yes, and there is a coat test. You're right, especially with the cat. So I have the harness on, but you lift this up and see how it goes right back.
Right back, yeah.
Where I'm lifting it up and it just goes right back. With the cat that's dehydrated, you'll lift that up and it'll literally sit like a tent.
my goodness.
Just like that. Yes.
How quickly, if this does happen to pets this summer, which unfortunately it happens all summer in Southern
Yes.
California, how quickly do you need to get your pet to a vet to get fluids pumped back in them before it's dangerous?
Well, as soon as possible. So, I mean, it does depend on, like a dog that's 100 temperature of 3 or 104 versus 107, you know, those 107 we need to put an IV in.
Yeah.
But dogs that are just a little dehydrated, little overheated, we put fluids right under the skin. They have a subcutaneous area. We can just put some fluids just like that.